This is absolutely disrespectful, and ESPN NFL analyst has absolutely flamed the Dallas Cowboys for their most recent move today. We have to break it down. What's up, guys? I'm Matt Long. Welcome to Cowboys Football 365. You're a Dallas Cowboy fan. Please hit that subscribe button. But getting into the newest news for today from Seth Walder of ESPN. He said, there's no way to put it. This is a horrific trade for the Cowboys. It is completely unfathomable for a team like Dallas to be trading away major draft resources for a defensive tackle on a salary-heavy contract in a season where it has a 7% chance to make the playoffs. As part of the deal, the Jets acquired Mazi Smith, a former first-round pick who failed to make an impact for the Dallas Cowboys. Smith was supposed to be a run stopper for Dallas, but it never came together. He was relegated to 5 games as a backup this season with a 29.3 run stop rate. That is below average. Smith's inclusion doesn't move the needle for this deal. If anything, it's a slight negative for the Jets, given his guaranteed $2.6 million salary for the next season. So, certainly seems like Seth Walder from ESPN is low on just everything that the Dallas Cowboys did. They don't like Mazi Smith, which makes sense, I guess, but he doesn't like Quinnen Williams, a defensive tackle who is about to turn 28. Now, I know a lot of Cowboys fans are looking at this season and they're saying it is unsalvageable, and they're probably right. You probably are right, but Quinnen Williams is not just a piece for this season. Quinnen Williams is a core piece of the Dallas Cowboys defense going forwards. When you have multiple first-round picks, it gives you the draft capital and the ability to go out and trade for big-time players like a Quinnen Williams. As expensive as he is this season, he's not as expensive as Micah Parsons would have been. He actually around $16 million less per year. And we know Jerry Jones didn't want to trade for a pass rusher. So this is a way where he doesn't want to trade for an edge rusher. So this is a way where he was able to increase the pass rush for the Dallas Cowboys, also increase the run stopping ability of the Dallas Cowboy defense, something we know was a high priority for him when he traded away Micah Parsons. So boom, he adds in Quinnen Williams. Now, if we look at the stats for Quinnen Williams, he was the first team All-Pro defensive tackle in 2023. That's the 2022-2023 season. And then this season so far, a little bit of a down year for him. Only 1 sack so far. But this is a defensive tackle who can put up a pretty decent amount of sacks. I'm looking at the stats. 2022 was the year where he was a first-team All-Pro. Got to trust your research, not your memory. I looked it up, said 2022, but it didn't sound right coming out. But Quinnen Williams is an absolutely amazing defensive tackle because he is one of those rare interior defensive linemen that is a force in the pass rush game as well. He's not just someone who's going to sit there and be a run stopper, just sit there and clog holes. He's going to sit there and be a real piece of the defense. And he is a franchise defensive tackle. This is a no-joke pickup for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I know we gave up a lot to go get him, giving up the first-round pick in 2027. If you haven't heard, it's a conditional pick. It's going to be the better of the 2 picks between the Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys. So whoever's pick is better will be headed over to New York. But Quinnen Williams and a 2026 second-round pick, as well as Mazi Smith. Now, let's just quickly talk about Mazi Smith, the player who is, well, I apparently don't have a picture of. This video is going amazingly so far. Let's talk about Mazi Smith, who was traded from the Dallas Cowboys to the New York Jets, a 2023 first-round pick of the Dallas Cowboys out of Michigan. He was an athletic monster coming out of the draft, but he was never able to find his footing in the NFL with the Dallas Cowboys and was actually a healthy scratch for a lot of this season. As we read in the article, limited to only 5 games played and then only as a backup when he did play. So definitely didn't live up to expectations, but unlike what this article is saying, I do think Mazi Smith was a plus for the New York Jets because their whole mantra when it comes to acquisitions is they want low risk, high reward players. And there's nothing really lower risk, high reward than a guy who is super athletic, but not very good at football. Like they're going to go over and try to develop him. So I do think Mazi Smith added more trade value to the trade for the New York Jets, but their general manager came out and said they weren't trading anyone. It was just if the price got so high where they were forced to trade someone, they would then have to go ahead and make that trade. And the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones, his offer did come up to the level where Darren Muji for the New York Jets decided he couldn't say no anymore. And now Jerry Jones has his defensive stalwart that he was looking for. Quinnen Williams is a better run defender than Micah Parsons, even if Micah Parsons is definitely overall a better player. But let's talk about where Quinnen Williams is going to slot into this defensive line. Right now, ESPN has him on the depth chart as the current right defensive tackle for the Dallas Cowboys here, lining up right next to Kenny Clark, the other trade acquisition from earlier in the season. This defense, a lot of people have been saying it's not just one piece away, and they're absolutely right. But today, going from week 10 to week 11, the Dallas Cowboys defense acquired 3 pieces. We got Logan Wilson from the early morning trade this morning on Tuesday morning, Quinnen Williams from the Tuesday afternoon right before the deadline trade, and we're getting DeMarvion Overshown back. He's on track to start his 2025 NFL season week 11 versus the Raiders. So that's 3 players to add to this Dallas Cowboy defense, and it could there is a chance that this season can still be turned around. Currently, our defense is allowing the second most yards in the entire NFL. The only defense that's worse is the Cincinnati Bengals, which that's a really, really bad defense. That's not any sort of defense that you want to be compared to ever. But the problem with that is if the offense doesn't have a good half or a good game, it's not even a good game. Like even one bad quarter from our offense can end the game for us because our defense is unfortunately that bad. We saw against the Arizona Cardinals 2 nights ago or last night, if the offense struggles and turns the football over, a turnover on downs on the first drive, then a fumble on the second drive, if we make mistakes like that, our defense is not going to be able to make the requisite stops to keep us in that football game. So that's one of the reasons why you go out and get a Quinnen Williams to salvage a season like this. When your guys are staying healthy, you don't ever want to let a season go to waste when you have a fantastic quarterback like Dak Prescott. And I know some people think that Jerry Jones doesn't care about winning, but he came out today himself and echoed a sentiment that I've been talking about in my videos that he doesn't have a ton of time left. He wants to win a championship now. So I think this was a smart trade to go pick up Quinnen Williams. I do think we paid a little bit too much to go acquire him. Now, the New York Jets definitely coveted Mozzie Smith higher than we did. So that was a piece that I'm perfectly fine throwing in. But a first and a second is a little bit too valuable to be kicking back their way. But hey, it happened. Quinnen Williams is going to be an awesome pick, or not going to be. He is already an awesome pickup for this defense and something that we really needed. We know Jerry Jones, maybe to a fault, covets the guys who can both stop the run and rush the passer as well. The problem is guys like that are really, really coveted by everyone in the NFL, and they're going to be highly, highly expensive. So, we're going to see if this does solve our pass rushing issues. More than likely, it's not going to be the amazing fix that we're looking for, but hopefully this is the start of what can be at least a mediocre to solid defense in the future. And Quinnen Williams, welcome to the Dallas Cowboys. Let's go make some big plays. Let's make this thing happen. But that's what I got for this video. If you stuck around this long, appreciate you taking the time to watch the video. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and go Cowboys.